Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So last week I made a video about, what I believed what's going to happen with the tariffs and all of that. And I said prices would be down and we wouldn't go up until we got some clarity on the tariffs. Well, we have got some more clarity on the tariffs and it's not good. It's worse than what the markets were predicting. And because of that, crypto as well as stocks, the global market in general, is going down. So today's video is just to talk about the aftershocks of the terrorists, if there's progress being made, no progress, and how long is this going to last, and if I'm still DCAing into crypto as well as some tech stocks. So we're going to go over that right now, but the markets aren't pretty. I'm not going to sugarcoat things, and I'm one of the biggest bulls out there. But I am still DCAing into certain projects, not all. But it's a bloodbath out there today. And tomorrow, the infamous Jim Cramer predicted that it will be a Black Monday. Black Monday typically is not a good thing. And I'm starting to see that these prices are coming down. Bitcoin earlier today was over $80,000. Now it's touching 70,000. ETH is down to 1,500 bucks. Solana is touching, 100. Is under $110 right now. Sui's under $2. A lot of craziness happening right now. Not to mention Tesla. Tesla's under 240. That's support that it had before is like $230. Nvidia's under 100 bucks. A lot of good sales depending on how you look at things. If you truly believe in the companies, the technicals, and the future of these companies, good buying opportunities. But are we going to go down even more? Is it one of those things where you DCA and then you DCA and it's still going down even further? Tomorrow is going to be crazy. So let's get into Black Monday as predicted to Cramer. And we like to poke fun at the dude and say that it's inverse Cramer. So whatever he says, you want to do the opposite. But I don't know. Today, it could be different, right? Could be different. But so if we look at fear and greed, we're at fear right now. And I think Bitcoin hitting under 80,000, when this is updated, we'll probably be back to extreme fear. And it's not only crypto, it's stocks as well. So yeah, things are crazy. So as I mentioned, Bitcoin hit under 80,000. Looking at the price of Bitcoin today, time of this video, we're at 79,128. The crypto market cap decreased 5.7%. Global market cap right now is 2.5 trillion. And looking crazy. Looking crazy. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is 62.6%. And ETH dominance, guys, for all my ETH holders out there, continues to go down. ETH dominance is 7.6. I'm going to show you why. If you follow me on this channel, I just think that ETH, as far as the tech and everything like that, with the L2s kind of, diminishing it, then you have other strong L1s, ETH not doing well, guys. And price of ETH right now is $15.93. XRP's under $2. Solana 107. I didn't think I'd see 107 Solana until the bear market. Historically, we're not in the bear market yet, so we'll see. ADA is giving up most of its gain, is down to 58 cents. Chainlink is $11. Toncoin under $3. Avalanche 16 bucks. Sui's under $2. Holy crap. Litecoin $71, guys. Litecoin not too long ago was in the 120s. So yeah, these tariffs has the world leaders and the economies very shook at the moment. But let's see. Retail right now, according to Coinbase, a lot of people are still buying, right? They're DCAing into Bitcoin. We see right now 40,000 buyers. This is per Coinbase. XRP, 20,000 buyers. Even ETH, 19,000 buyers. Solana, 15,000. They're buying Litecoin, buying Hedera, buying ADA. Sui's being bought 1,000, Chainlink, and Avalanche. So yes, the markets are bad, but truly, if you believe in these projects, this is the time. If you were DCAing at much higher prices, these prices should be a gift right now. So this isn't a doom and gloom video, but we're going to keep it real here and say, hey, the prices, we might not be mooning for a little bit. And I'm going to explain why. But I still think this is excellent DCA opportunity into a concentrated. Now isn't the time, I don't think, to start going into venturing into the low caps. You want, for me at least, I'm looking at the blue chip ones that have spot ETFs set up for approval. I think that and a possible turnaround in the world economy will skyrocket. these projects. But U.S. ETFs, as far as the week ending last week, there was some buying. We have IBIT. They bought about 324 billion. You have Grayscale. You know how they do. They unloaded about 25 million. You have ARK, negative 22 million. You have Fidelity, a wash. So, right now, not heavy buying going on in Bitcoin for the past week that ended. But let's take a look at alts and see how they're doing. During this downturn, what is happening? We see that Solana, as far as daily active addresses, at 3.9 million, Near 3.6, Sui 1.9. Then we go daily transactions. See daily transactions. We see Solana 436 million, Sui at 39.3 million. Daily active addresses, so new wallets. Are people still coming into crypto with all this bad news? We see new wallets. Solana 2.7 million, Sui 1.5 million, Near 325,000, and ETH 125. Let's take a look at DEX volume. DEX volume we see for the week ending. Solana is at 7.3 billion as DEX volume. ETH at 7.2 billion. So Solana's outpaced as far as DEX volume, guys, ETH. And then you see Sui at 1.6 billion, and Sui is one of the ones that I like. Avalanche 410, Aptos 296, and then bring them with the rear here. We see Cardano at 16.9 million. So I don't know. We look at total revenue generated by these alts right now. ETH at 916,000, Solana 559,000, and Sui 86,000, and you see the rest there. Also, Tesla's under 240. As I talked about at the intro of this video, 239 is a good price for Tesla. I get it. Elon's not liked right now, and they don't like what he's doing. And that's impacting the company. As well as they had some earnings numbers and deliveries, that was kind of subpar for Tesla. And part of that could have been done to, because of the new Model Y coming out. They had to slow down production and all of that. So you can kind of speak to why the numbers were what they were. But I still think technology is great. Full self-driving. There's nothing like it. And it's more than just a car company. So I think this is an excellent buying opportunity for Tesla. Also, NVIDIA. Hey, AI isn't going anywhere. It's just going to get stronger right now with these tariffs. Taiwan, as far as where it, that's where most of the chips are being made. It's impacted. You got China right next door is also impacted. And because of the unknown, NVIDIA has been impacted as well. Under $100. This is a steal for me. I don't think AI is going anywhere, and they have pretty much a monopoly on these chips. So I think it's a great, great deal. So this is what I titled my video, the thumbnail, and let's take a look real quick about what he's saying.
The president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession. But if President Trump stays intransigent and does nothing to ameliorate the damage that I saw these last 2 days, I'm not going to be constructive here. I will contain my anger, but only because I lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay. I was in cash for the crash. I know what this feels like. Oh, and if Europe moves against our fabulous tech companies next week, then I will be furious. That I promise you, because it should not happen.
So he's predicting something, we'll see. But JP Morgan, they upped their ante. First it was 40% chance of a recession. Now recession's on the table for 2025 if this keeps up. So, it's right now not looking too great, right? Also, this is what China says. They slapped the 34% tax on all U.S. imports in retaliation of Trump's tariffs. So they're not, they're playing ball. They're not playing ball at all. They don't want to be bullied. And, if you go walk around your house right now and grab 10 things and take a look and see where it's made, over 50% of chances is that it was made in China. So this is not going to be great. We'll see what companies do. A lot of companies have said that, for now, we're either halting production. We're not going to send the costs onto the consumer. We'll try to eat it for now. But the longer this goes on, that's going to impact prices, in my opinion, and prices of goods that we buy, specifically from places like China and these other places. They may go up. And if that goes up, then people probably will not be spending money on crypto as much. They can start saving money because things are much more expensive. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Also, EU, they set 28 billion tariffs on U.S. imports. So EU, they're following China's lead, and they're not bowing down either. So this is what we feared. We don't want a tariff war, trade war. We don't want that. So I don't know. The EU's countermeasures target a range of U.S. goods, including bourbon, semiconductors, and items from dental floss all the way to diamonds. EU countries are seeking to present a united front against these U.S. tariffs, with plans to approve these measures in the coming days. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Next week should be very interesting. Also, if you follow Charlie Baeo, if you don't, please give him a follow. He has some good macro information, and basically said that, right now, the last 2 days that we have, Thursday and Friday, were some of the biggest declines we've seen in the S&P 500, currently ranked number 5 historically. So right above that would have been 2008, when we had the financial issue with the banks. So number 5, guys, we fell 10.5% S&P. So, if we fall even further, that'd be crazy. And because of that, some people are predicting that this is probably kind of orchestrated to bring the 10-year yield down, and I'll talk about why that's important. And if that goes down, then chances are Jerome Powell in the beginning of the year was saying how, inflation, they have to control it. There's only going to be 2 cuts, whatever. And we know following that, Trump has some things to say on social media about Jerome Powell needing to cut rates. This is kind of how you force his hand a little bit. If the markets are struggling, people aren't really excited about the economy, where it's going, and people start spending less, 10-year goes down, then he has no choice than to kind of cut rates, because you have to spur the spending. You have to grow the economy, and that's how you do it. Make borrowing cheaper. And if we look at May is basically 66.7 that he will have no cuts. That's the next Fed chair meeting. But then it's growing. Now it's up to 33.3. Weeks ago, this thing was like less than 15%. So that's happening. But look at June. So in June, over 66.8 are saying that we're going to get a 0.25 cut, and 27.3 are thinking that we might even get a 0.50 cut. So things are growing, and we'll see. So if this, things could go bad and they can continue to go worse, but the silver lining that maybe interest rates will come down. Also from Charlie, he says that the market expectations for the Fed fund rate in May, they're going to hold. In June, they're going to cut. July, they're going to cut. September, they're going to cut. October, hold. And December, they're going to cut again. And if you count that, that's about 4 more cuts. It's going to happen. And I hope that happens. If that happens, and then you have some negotiations going on, and these tariffs go away, and you have that, and then the money printing starts going burr, tail end of this year, crypto and these tech stocks I just talked about, will boom, they'll go crazy. But we got to ride out this pain for a little bit. At least that's what I'm doing. Not financial advice. Also, it's not all doom and gloom. Taiwan offers 0 tariffs and pledges to increase its investments in the U.S. to avoid the U.S. tariffs. So some countries are coming to the table to negotiate. So that's good. Also, Vietnam, same thing. They offer to remove all tariffs on U.S. imports to avoid the tariffs. So that's good. Maybe smaller countries will start to follow suit. Taiwan and Vietnam are important, especially some of the U.S. companies like Nike, because almost all their stuff is made over there. So if these tariffs take place, that's going to hurt a company like Nike, Adidas, all these sporting apparel places. Going to hurt them big time. India also wants to negotiate a new unbalanced trade deal with the U.S. to avoid tariffs. So it's not only doom and gloom, but the big dogs, as far as the EU and China, are not playing at the time. But you have others that are kind of offsetting. So that's good. That's positive. Also, the 10-year, and that's what we talked about earlier, is down under $4, $3.99. So that is big. And why is that big, you might ask? So basically, 10 years serves as the benchmark for other interest rates, such as mortgage rates, corporate bond yields, and other loan rates. Therefore, a decline in the 10-year yield can lead to lower borrowing costs for households and businesses. If this goes down, this would be a welcome to home mortgages. A lot of people can't afford mortgages right now because A, the prices are high as hell, and then two, if you can afford it with the interest rate, it's almost unattainable. 7% pretty much. I saw now with this going down, it's around 6.3% nationally. And if this continues to go down and the Fed continues to cut rates because of this stock market not looking great, I think it can be positive. I mean, it's going to be some pain for the short term, but for the long term, we have some positive things coming. You kind of have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I know it's not easy looking at your portfolio. Also, the U.S. dollar is down to 102. Typically, when U.S. dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. And that was happening for a little bit. When the stock market was going down Thursday and Friday, Bitcoin kind of held its own over 80. However, I see that now, with Bitcoin going under 80, maybe that's not happening anymore. But typically, this is a good trend. When U.S. dollar is down, Bitcoin tends to go higher. As the Federal Reserve adopts an expansionary monetary policy by increasing interest rates, the dollar appreciates compared to other currencies. Assets that are higher risk like Bitcoin lose their demand. So if the markets are predicting all these cuts, 4 more cuts this year, and 10 years going down, So Buffett, some people may say he's old, he's out of touch, but there was a head scratcher last month or 2 months ago where he sold a lot and just sat on cash. And people were wondering, why is he sitting on cash? What's going on? This was after, obviously, Trump administration was in office and he was just sitting on cash. Did he read the tea leaves? He follows macro, and I get it. A lot of channels I see, they have charts and you're predicting things, but charts couldn't predict this. But you got to follow the macro and see where the world is headed. Global economy, look at the M2 money supply and just see what's going on. And him and his advisors, they saw it. They knew something was happening, and now they're sitting on all this cash. Guys like this, they don't come around too often. So you tend to want to follow these guys and what they're doing. What are they saying? You follow their moves. And if I was sitting on cash like he was, obviously I'm not sitting on millions and millions, but if I put away some cash and followed him, I'd be sitting pretty right now. Investing in Tesla, Nvidia, Bitcoin, Solana, Sui. Those are the ones right now. And Litecoin. Those are the ones that I'm DCAing in currently. And as the market turns and it continues to go down, I'll be DCAing down on those projects as well. I truly, truly believe in those projects. So, looking at this again, guys, it is what it is, This was supposed to be the year where we had a pro-crypto government in place, administration, SECs dropping all these cases against Ripple, Tornado Cash, all of them. And, there's some good but good law coming into place as far as Bitcoin strategic reserve. We have states trying to prove it as a reserve. You have Fidelity now offering it for retirement plans where they weren't doing that before. This is the time, February, March, April, where we're supposed to be mooning. And that hasn't happened because we have this cloud, this macro cloud above us. But I don't think it's going to last forever. Yes, there's some tough talk right now from China and the EU, but they don't want to hurt their citizens either. They just don't want to be bullied. At some point, strong minds and smarter minds will prevail and everything will be situated. And when this is all situated, we'll have cheaper interest rates. And I think the money printer will go burr. And I think towards the tail end of this year, things should be positive. And that's why I'm going to continue to DCA into these projects. So guys, tomorrow may be ugly. Yes, it may. But again, keep the faith. If you truly believe, right now we're getting a good deal on these projects. And I feel like a broken record. The last few videos, I've been saying the same thing. We're getting deals. At some point, things will turn around. You can't go down forever. Things will come up. And when things come up, we will be rewarded for our perseverance and our faith. So that's it, guys. I know the markets are ugly. Try not to look at your portfolio today. Go out, get some sunlight, spend time with family and friends. One day things will turn around for sure. Thank you for spending your time with me. And until next time, bye.